What's up, YouTube? This is Victor on the Let Me Explain show, and I'm just gonna give you an update on my herbal journey. For those who've been following my channel, I started off about a year and a half, close to 2 years now, when I started taking herbs recommended by Dr. Sebi, and I actually bought herbs from Dr. Sebi's company, cell company, and he was still alive at that time, so I felt comfortable about buying herbs from his cell company. There's more about why I'm speaking of it like this in my videos below. I will actually link the actual video where I said why I'm not buying herbs from Dr. Sebi's company anymore. In any case, this video is not about that. It's more about addressing two things. Firstly, it's an update of how I'm doing. I'm feeling strong. And why I'm flexing is not to show off. It's to actually stress a point that this whole protein myth has to go. I don't work out. One, I'm genetically designed to look like this. I don't work out. Basically, I don't go to the gym. I do a couple of push-ups. That's it. And when I say a couple, I mean a couple, one or two a day. And I don't eat that much meat. I don't eat meat on a daily basis. I eat meat maybe once a week, and when I do, it's in very small quantities. And it's not for the protein. It's more just for the nostalgia, for the taste of it. I like the taste of it, no doubt. But the whole idea of me not eating meat and not suffering from a lack of protein in my body speaks something of this whole myth that you should, eat meat to get your protein. So this is just a hint, this is just a nudge to say take a look into it. And once again, I'm not like flexing and showing off. I'm just making a gesture, if you know what I mean. But so if you look into what meat does to your body and how much it taxes your body in terms of energy just to break down meat products for it to go through your system, you will be surprised. And there are a lot of plant-based protein sources out there, and my main one, my favorite one, is edamame, and because it's delicious and it's accessible, it's easy to prepare, and it's not heavy on the system. It just goes through my system pretty easily. So that's one thing I want to talk about. I don't want to go into in depth about it for I think the best way I can put it is that those who have ears will hear, and if you're seeking this information, you will understand by the virtue of this video what I'm trying to put across. So I won't go into that, but I'm saying if you're ready for this message, then obviously you'll pick it up, and this will be an affirmation to say yes, there are many other sources of protein which will do you better than meat will do. So I'll leave it at that. And when it comes to herbs, I'm still taking the same herbs I've been taking for a couple of months, and I'm playing around with combinations now. I know that burdock is one of those herbs I've got to have because for the energy it gives me. And Irish sea moss is totally amazing. I'm actually going to do a video where I show you how it takes in water, how it just absorbs water and becomes this massive quantity from a small powder mass. So Irish sea moss, I totally love that. It keeps me satisfied all day, and I can go a day with one banana, one avocado, and a cup of coffee. Yeah, I'm hesitating on that because I intend to take coffee out of my diet too. So with the Irish sea moss, when I take it in my flask, it actually expands during the day because I drink this through the day. So what I do first thing is I put 3 teaspoons of my herbal mixtures, which is burdock root, Irish sea moss, elderberry, Indian sarsaparilla, and I've also got bladderwrack, which helps to break down mucus. So as I go through my day, first I fill it up with water, shake it up, make sure it's well mixed. Then I drink it halfway, refill it with water. So as I go through the day, it's becoming more diluted, and my intake of water is also is consistent. So in essence, what I'm saying is herbs are really working well for me. Taking herbs, and it's made me really reevaluate a lot of things. I never, for the life of me, thought I'll be off Coca Cola. I mean, I used to be a Coca Cola addict. I mean, 6 Cokes a day. I'll pick up a 6 pack of cans or 2 liter bottle of soda, Coca Cola, and that was my water source. That was my energy source, and now I can't drink a can of Coke and not feel the effects in the morning, let alone go through the can itself without feeling like, okay, my body is really not feeling this, it's not liking this. So this all happened gradually. There were points when I would go into a supermarket and pick up the Coke automatically. That was the tipping point for me, and that was before I started taking herbs. I realized that this had been programmed into my system, where it was a reaction. I didn't even have to think about it. It was an innate reaction where I just reacted to seeing the product. So that for me was a huge trigger. And with the herbs, what happened is, as I got healthier, my body got what it needed. I could discern more what the Coke did to me, the Coca Cola, I must be clear, it did to my body, and I just do not like the effect it has in the morning. I really feel that my body is working hard to eliminate whatever I took in. So that's one thing that came from it. I know I mentioned it in a previous video, but the whole idea of these videos is to give updates as I go forth. And another thing that happened is that I used to drink maybe one drink a week or so. I'm not a heavy drinker. I don't, you know, I mean 2 drinks maximum, and I'll tell you my life story, including everything else I should not tell you about. So I'm an extremely light drinker to begin with, but after being on herbs so much, it's brought an alertness. I'm not saying the herbs did this, but when I take the herbs, I feel an alertness and an awareness in the morning. I experience life more. Now, when the morning after I have 1 beer, 2 beers is a disaster, but 1 beer, I wake up and my mind is cloudy. I am sluggish. I'm literally sluggish. I can see that I am moving slow. Every action requires a massive amount of energy for me. Of course, that's an exaggeration. It's not a massive amount. It's more energy than would be my norm. Because usually, if I don't have a beer or drink a Coke or take any sugary substance, basically, and stick to my herbs and my veggie diet, I spring out of bed. I'm full of energy. I'm ready to take on my day. I'm alive, basically. So taking the herbs really brought my body to this level where I'm sensitive to the foods I'm eating. So I become hesitant to to partake in certain foods, even if I go out with a friend or so. To have a beer, I know I'm gonna pay for it the next morning, and when I say pay for it, it sounds negative. Maybe I would say I'm putting my body through all the stress that it doesn't need. So at the end of the day, it's like I'm really glad I found that herbs really work and they wake you up. Now, as Morpheus said in The Matrix, no one can tell you what the Matrix is. You have to find out for yourself. It's pretty much the same with taking herbs. You have to experience it. It's a personal, deeply personal experience, but the universal underlying essence of it is that it's uplifting. I can't describe the feeling, the mode you get into You just have to experience it yourself. And I'd like to end this video by saying um, there is a saying: if you know it, good for you. If you don't, look it up. It goes, let your food be your medicine. I'll leave you with that one. Alright, this is Victor on the Let Me Explain show, and thanks so much for watching this update. If you've got any questions or about anything you want me to cover particularly, please leave that in the comments below and I will definitely cover that. But I just thought I'd update you and let you know that herbs are still working great for me, and it's elevating my mind, if you caught that in the video, and I'm just so glad I got onto it. And I urge you, start off with Irish sea moss, start off with burdock root, elderberry, simple herbs to go with. Do a teaspoon of each, mix them up, have them as your early morning brew, have them as your drink before you go to bed, and you'll see the results. I'm not recommending that. I would highly recommend you see your doctor before you take these herbs. Once again, this is Victor on the Let Me Explain show, and I'll see you later.